color won't put me under. I'm working for you now. You're telling me dissolve. I'm levitating 10 feet off ground. What's getting under my skin? Under my skin. People talking shit just right now. All I see is backstabs right now. Cause I'm back on my feet, with the dragging me back. Where you fall to pieces, to pieces. I want it all. The faces I see you coming. I'm coming, coming. I'm in bed. Where you fall to pieces. I start to wonder, will we go under? We need a savior now. Is there anybody out there? I'm levitating 10 feet off ground. What's getting under my skin? Under my skin. But people talking shit just right now. All I see is backstabs right now. Cause I'm back on my feet, but they're dragging me back. Where you fall to pieces, to pieces. What do you know? The faces I see you coming. I'm coming, coming. I'm in bed. Where you fall to pieces, to pieces. I can be a safe cat. Just tell me enough to get there somehow. And I can be your savior now. Where you fall to pieces, to pieces. What do you know? The faces I see you coming. I'm coming, coming. I'm in bed. Where you fall to pieces, to pieces.
Ah, yes.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to, quite frankly, sunny Bournemouth. It's sunny outside and it's lovely, and we're here in the same room. My name's James Ivey.
I Paul Drew. Do you know what? It was absolutely pissing down when I left home.
Don't forget your mic.
Oh, that's it. I'm the wedding. I'm the dad at the wedding, aren't I?
You are,
He
yeah.
says, can I borrow the microphone, please? And he's like,
And we're all going.
he's basically sort of holding it there.
The mic's right on the verge of feedback. Going,
Howdy doody.
good evening, one and all. Welcome to the Studio Rats Live Q&A. We are here. Let's a quick explanation of what the heck is going on. So many of you may know that I'm involved with a little cheerleading event that happens every year down in Bournemouth. Under normal non-COVID conditions, we'd have 30,000 cheerleaders about to descend upon the BIC, the Bournemouth International Centre, and myself, Mr. Drew here, and a few of my close friends and technical buddies would be looking after all the tech, the AV, the everything. Obviously, this year things are a bit different, and we are having to up our game in the tech and the streaming department. So if you cut to camera 2, Paul, we are currently playing with the system we're going to be running tomorrow, or for the next few days down in Bournemouth. It is pretty spectacular. The cabling will be tidier, of course.
It looks a bit like your studio with that cabling, doesn't it?
How very dare you? And you need to put your mic closer. It's a dynamic, mate. It doesn't work from here.
Doesn't work from here, Paul. Dad at a wedding.
Yeah.
So anyway, switch back.
So we're here. We are here as always to take your questions. We thought we would try. We've got some new toys down here to play with, so we thought we'd try playing a track into the system first, and it worked, didn't it?
Well, it did, but you can let us know if the streaming's okay, if everything, because we're in a place where
we have no idea about the streaming quality or the upload speed or anything like that. It's pretty shocking, to be fair, but at least we're both in time with each other.
For once. Have we got any questions so far?
I'm gonna have a quick look. First and foremost.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Have I actually turned it off? Did I actually? Do you know what the? Who brought me?
What's that for?
That's for Dave Olson for his Apple Teenies All Round, guys.
Ah, cheers, Dave.
Thank you very much, sir. Greatly appreciate. Big shout out to Stephen James. G'day from Brisbane. Bruce Brooks in New York. I have put the link to tonight's stream in the. It's going to get very confusing because the camera's there, but my laptop's there, and normally my laptop is the thing. Okay. Anywho, I've put the links in. If you want to come and join us, please do. Various people will appear in the background at various points because, quite frankly, we've hit the beer early.
We've been going for some time, to be honest.
Hello, we've been joined already. Blimey, what's going on?
Who's coming on?
Eric is coming on. When his camera appears and he sorts everything out, I will put him into the stream. But Eric has joined us. We don't know who Eric is yet, do we?
Awesome.
Eric, you need to turn your camera on and your mic on, things like that. But we'll get you in soon, pretty shortly. Mike Pinion's in. Howdy from San Sebastian or from Sebastian, Florida. Dave Bro says, "Do it." I think that was the track. Filming and this is evening all. At this point, I'd like to say that Gregoire, Larry North, would normally come on and say evening chaps. But actually, can you hear me? He's in the background somewhere. Gregoire!
I think he's gone out.
He's buggered off, hasn't he?
I think he's left us.
How very dare he. Dave Stockton says, evening chaps, jealous you're in Bournemouth. Do you know what? I love it down here.
Well, this is where I keep trying to convince my wife that we're going to move down here, not to Bournemouth, but to sort of Mudderford.
Does she know that?
Well, yeah, she's not that keen. I've got to be honest. I love it down there.
I like the beach.
Yes.
When we were moving, Bournemouth was on my hit list because I could see my kids being beach kids.
It's a bit studenty though, isn't it? I think Bournemouth is a little bit. I don't want to insult Bournemouth.
Bournemouthians.
Bournemouthians. That's the word. Right, come then.
So Dave, yes, Dave Brooks says together. Dave Brose says together again. Cheers.
Cheers, boys.
I will cheers, Mr. Drew. Cheers, everyone out there. It's great to be here again. I'm so glad. I'll let you into a little secret. About 7:45, we had nothing. We've got quite a technical system going on here, as you can see, and it wasn't working about 20 minutes ago, and it now is. So I'm very pleased about that. James, mic is louder. I've just fixed Paul's mic on that one, so thank you very much.
He always does that, by the way.
It's totally set by me to be louder. Paul's mic is too low. Yes, all right. I thought you were too young to retire, said Keith Milner. Bournemouth is full of retired people. Yeah.
That's Eastbourne.
That is true.
I'm not sure Bournemouth is. Is Bournemouth retirees?
I think it's the fact that Eastbourne is where...
It's where you go to die.
It's God's waiting room, isn't it?
That's what it is.
I have done gigs in Eastbourne, and I've played the last set really fast because the front row didn't have long.
Oh, that's really wrong. That's proper wrong. I really like Eastbourne. I mean, this is all... I like Eastbourne.
Dave McCullen says, evening, guys. Love the new set. Yeah, we're in an Airbnb in Christchurch, which is about 15, 20-minute drive to...
Yeah, 15 minutes.
To the BIC, where the event is for the next few days. But we thought, why why should the technicalities of us not being in different places with our home studios stop us? So we've got some Zoom cameras. We're running my Tascam thing again. We've got this amazing Blackmagic Designs TV studio 4K thing. It's awesome. I am the single human being on planet Earth that's found a really good use for the Raven. Because watch. Oh no, it's going to go.
No, you did something then.
I did, but what I need to do is go between that camera and that camera and go. Oh, there! I found a use for a Raven.
That's amazing. Yeah,
there
but
it
can't
is.
but they can't see what you're doing.
But they can. There I am. So I'm controlling.
Anyway,
the power is amazing. God's waiting room. Mike Pinion thinks that's funny. Max Hodges. Oh, Max, good to see you, buddy. Says God's typical drummer make me louder.
What's that?
Typical drummer.
Oh yeah,
make me louder.
Exactly.
I can turn Paul up as well, but just my inferiority complex kicks in.
Well, I think you're holding it a bit closer than that. If I did that, if I actually held it like you did, it'll be fine.
Mine is on the whole kind of racing commentator.
It is a little bit
position. It's like
a little bit.
We're gonna have Christchurch is defo retirement land, says Dave Olson.
Is it?
Yeah, it really is.
So it's Dave Olden. Dave's from.
I don't know.
No, yeah.
Lefty Mike says, "Hey guys." Micro Michelle says, "We want to the outside panorama." Yes, okay, we can do that.
James can do that. Okay, so I'll switch over to camera 2.
I can't actually hear you at the same time I was doing it, so switch over to camera 2.
Okay, there you go.
You may have to talk this one because I'm going to have to put the mic down.
Oh.
Right. Ready?
Okay, so James is. You can see him. Here he goes. Give it a little swing round. Oh, there we go. He's got a little garden. We're not going to see much of it over the next couple of days, are we?
We're not. No.
There we go. Bring it back round.
Say when.
That'll do. Perfect.
So, again, little secret time. We bought a lot of this kit a couple of weeks ago. Or we actually ordered it back in April, and I won't embarrass the company we ordered it from to say how long the lead time was. Thank you, Jigsaw. But yeah, it's very cool. We're getting to grips with it. We've got one slight technical issue which we're dealing with, but hopefully you enjoyed our track. That was the track we did with Christoph from Hero, wasn't it?
It was.
It was Fallen to Pieces.
It was.
And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing that very, very much because it's not another Paul Drew bad salad.
That's nice, isn't it? As the writer of the Studio Rat songs, I take offence to that.
Good.
No, it's nice hearing it again because you don't. I don't often play. I don't often play my own, our own music. You don't. You just don't.
No,
do it, do
you don't.
You don't. You play other people's music. It's nice to hear it. Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
I liked it.
Simon Cooks. Hang on. Max says need a pair of table clamp. Yes, I agree. We do need some table clamps, but quite frankly, we didn't need those for the gig we're doing. These just happen to be in my recording kit for events like NAMM and stuff. We didn't. Yes, it would have been great to have them on table boom arms and
it's
things.
It's a bit Terry Wogan if you hold it like.
It is, isn't it? I do feel like I'm about to commentate on a Formula One or the Grand National or something like that.
Absolutely.
If I had one of those Coles lip mics, that'd be great. Paul, James has hidden you way behind the comments. Oh, I didn't know that. I was not aware.
Well, I'm not surprised. Here we go. If I do this, I'm taking it off. I'm taking it off. I'm just doing this.
Don't. It's strapped onto. It's strapped onto the Raven screen. Don't do it.
Well, how can I change this round?
I think what you have to do, actually, mate, is
come this over a bit.
I think
I don't want to get a bit close to him.
I think Simon has to make his screen bigger because, quite frankly, I can see me. I think you just have to go full screen.
Do you? Okay.
Dave Olsen says he's in Durham, but he's worked in Bournemouth. And Micro Michelle says, nice garden. While we could talk about the lovely things that are Bournemouth till the cows come home, and we probably will until Gregoire brings us some food.
And some more beers.
My glass isn't broken yet, so I'll go. Yes.
We've been going since about 5 o'clock, so I don't think this is going to go that well.
Shahar
Bar's in the house.
Shahar Bar says, touch James's hair to prove There's no trickery involved.
I've got a story about James.
Oh God!
Here we go.
It's
Here we
real.
go. I've got a story about James. Just while you're all here. Oh,
Charlotte's rocked
hello.
up. Charlotte is in
Hello.
the house as well.
So the story about James is the last time I did this event. I've got to watch what I say here.
You have.
I've really got to watch what I say.
Yes.
This guy came up and I was doing some
Something technical.
I was doing something technical, and he goes, "Where's my favourite?" I think you know what I'm saying, and I'm going, "I'm really sorry, mate. What do you mean, your favourite?" And he goes, "Yeah, my favourite." And he went, frosted tips, and and at the time, James's wife is a hairdresser, and
Stylist.
Whatever. And she used to give James little frosted tips. So James used to have like
I had highlights.
80s highlights, and he's now known by me as Frosted Tips.
Thank you. Yes. So the hair's real.
Yeah, unlike mine.
Well, you spent hours doing yours and left it behind.
Yeah.
Simon Cook says, I've only got a 32-inch one. I think he's referring to the screen.
Nice one, mate.
Hopefully.
Lucky boy.
Max says, remember I bitched about lead times last time I dropped in. Well, the new Ibanez finally turned up just before I went on holiday earlier this month. Took a long holiday in Cornwall. I hope the Ibanez is worth it because, quite frankly, they are doing some amazing instruments these days. Yeah,
which we're about to show later on. Actually, I think there's some really exciting stuff coming out.
Shaharbar, sorry, that's 4 pints down.
Shaharbar
Says, lucky guy. My opinion is, but is Pete there?
Pete is not here. Thank God. If Pete was, oh my gosh. If Pete was here, Pete's not very technical. Pete is one of the most creative people that I've ever met in my life. If he's watching,
he's just not very technical, is he?
He's not very technical. He likes breaking things.
Stephen James says, Paul,
yes.
I enjoyed your Plexi / Katana challenge. Got a lot of views. Well done.
Cheers.
I enjoyed that as well because
nice one.
We consulted a little bit on it. We actually do talk to each other from time to time.
Occasionally.
Too often, in my opinion. But that was one of those ones you went, oh my God, I can't do this. And I went,
no, it wasn't that one.
Oh no, that was the
what was that?
The other thing, the Cortex one. Whereas the Plexi one, the Plexi and Katana, yes. I thought surely that's going to be a further, more of a challenge. But actually, it sounded pretty good.
It was really interesting. And I also asked people in the intro. I asked, you got to guess what I'm playing in the intro, and everyone was guessing. I think everyone guessed the Katana, but actually, it starts off with the Plexi. Then goes into the Katana and then goes into the Plexi again. So it shows you how close you can get. The thing is, and this is my thing, I think speakers play a lot more of an they have a lot more of an impact with tone than the actual, because I was running through the same speaker with the 2 amps. I think that has more of an impact than the actual amp tone.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because we know we've changed speakers on our Katana. Katani. We've had that discussion as well. I've got creambacks and you've got
creamback. Oh no, I've got redback in there.
Yeah.
Redback in there.
And to me, it's chalk and cheese.
Yeah.
From the original, quite scooped, sharp sounding Boss speakers. I'm not sure what they are. Or who made them, because Boss don't make speakers as far as I know.
Yes, I think it's some. Yeah,
they've bought something in and just put a sticker over the top.
Yeah,
but it is a real change. But it's worth it.
Yeah.
Can you not keep it down in there, please?
Unbelievable.
We're working. Shaharbar says frosted tits. I'm not sure what that means. I have no idea. Max says, last time I worked in Bournemouth was Festival of Lights, August Bank Holiday weekend with Dick T.
Dick T.
The last time, obviously, this is an annual event for us. Last year it didn't happen because of COVID. But the last time before that I played in Bournemouth was for the Bournemouth Air Show.
Was it?
Which is always great because we have an outdoor stage, and the band I was playing with We were on the outdoor stage, and it was the last time I saw a Vulcan fly.
Oh,
If a boy is allowed to have a favorite aircraft,
mate.
that is my favorite aircraft.
without a doubt.
It's an awesome noise.
Oh God, it's amazing.
Okay, Dave Olson says, "Are you sure you lads only started at 5? Never heard you so chatty." It's because we're in the same room.
I'm so bared up. To be honest, I'm pretty bared up.
Such a wuss. I say 10 minutes before we went live, it was all going horribly wrong, wasn't it?
It was a bit.
So yes, anyway, it's all good. Microphonics, by the color of James's skin, I can see the beer is doing its job. That is because we are running on these amazing little Zoom Q2N 4K cameras, and they've got preset color modes on them. We can do the color control in the ATEM software. Let me just hit that button. We're using these babies. They're very tiny and very cute. For about 180 quid, they're really good value as well, 4K cameras.
Yeah.
But they do have presets on them, so we all look a little bit readied out.
I've got to say, and I know I've had a couple of beers, but I'm looking at the screen here, and it almost looks like you and me are the same height.
Yeah, because I am taller than you.
What, absolute rubbish. You're about 5'5". I'm not over 6 foot.
How very dare you?
So either you've got a really long body, or I've got a really small body and like long legs. I can't wait to say.
At this point, I have to say he has had more drink than me.
Definitely.
Right. Speaker cabs seem to make all the difference, as Keith Milner. Yeah,
Definitely.
you're absolutely right. Daniel S., why do Boss pedals get such a bad rap? That's all I use, and I love them.
They get a bad rap because they're
He also
not boutique.
He also says Prince liked them too, and that's enough for me.
Without a doubt. I mean, Boss pedals are absolutely amazing, and because they're not mass produced at all, but because they're it's like anything that's a reasonable price. If you get like a cork sniffer, but it's true.
I love
though,
that phrase. I love that phrase.
But it's true. If you've got like someone that makes boutique pedals,
Yep.
and you know the pedal costs, it's that thing that if someone gets a pedal that costs 200 quid, and someone and you know then they buy a pedal for 50 quid, it's what is it called? There's something that's
it's
called
cognitive bias.
That's what it is. So yeah, you automatically think the thing you spent more money on
is better. Yeah,
it's absolute rubbish.
I've got some pedals from the 80s that sound amazing.
Which are
Frontline.
Really?
Because they've got a sound that works for the style of music that I was trying to do at the time, and I've still got some of them. And they were terrible pedals, but they kind of sound cool. They sound cool in a gritty, kind of aggressive kind of way.
Yeah,
they're not super smooth, kind of Strymons or anything like that. They sound incredible, but they were cheap. They were 30 odd, 40 quid tops. Or it's about if you get the sound you like, who cares how much it costs?
But that's the thing. So the actual components that go into these pedals are cheap. They're cheap components. You know, resistors, capacitors, all that sort of stuff. It's fairly cheap stuff. Pence.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's really
and actually, when you get down to individual resistors, fractions of pence.
Yeah. So so pedals, the components that can make. Because they're mass produced, and they used to be made in all these other boutique pedals, and the Boss pedals are amazing.
Yeah. Okay, so Mike Pinion says, okay, since we haven't heard James's Katana, which speakers sound better, guys, red or cream? Well, actually, you have heard my creambacks because I did a Katana preset pack, and the video that went along with said preset pack is using. I put a microphone in front of the cabinet. So actually, you can hear my creambacks if you can be so bothered.
Personally, I mean, creambacks are my favorite, without a doubt. The reason why we did I did those videos was because I had a chat with Celestian. Celestian sent me a red back and a creamback, and I put a creamback in another cabinet, and I put the red back in the Katana. And yeah, I mean, I'd always choose creambacks, without a doubt. I love greenbacks.
Dave Bro says, Paul, and other things.
Dave.
PRS say I need to replace my knife screws on my trem. Have you had any experience of that?
No, definitely not. I'm surprised PRS has said that, to be honest.
Ooh.
Why have they said that? Have you adjusted it so much that it's worn away? I mean, basically, so you've got these you've got 6 screws. Think of it like a vintage Fender trem system. Mm-hmm. You've got 6 screws that go into the body, and then the PRS tremolo, which is without a doubt the best tremolo system ever invented.
He's wrong, by the way, because the Wilkinson's better.
No, it's not. That's a 2-piece. That's a 2-pole. It's definitely 6-pole. It's got 6 poles, so it's got and then these screws sit in the body, so they're directly connected to the body, and then you've got these sort of V's where the tremolo sits, and it pivots on that, and it's perfect, and it's the most accurate PRS tremolos are amazing.
Although I was watching the Steve Vai tour of his Harmony Hut, and he had a gem with a 7-point, totally harmonically accurate trem on it. So when he dived, he could actually hold a major scale, and it would dive perfectly. Okay, it's Steve Vai. Don't go there.
The thing is, the thing for me is like, okay, so Floyd Rose type tremolos, they pivot on 2.
Yes.
They pivot on 2. Wilkinson pivot on 2. Vintage Strat pivot on 6. Mm-hmm. Without a doubt, for me, I mean, I've got Sir guitars, and the Sir guitar pivots on 2. I think that's the only one that I've got that pivots on 2. 6 pivot tremolo sounds great.
Okay. Dave Olson says, Paul, do you generally mic a speaker for your videos or straight into the interface and use IRs?
So I either mic a speaker, or I go into a 2 Notes Torpedo Studio, or a Knox box, Universal Audio Aux box, or a Boss tube amp expander.
Nice. I'm slightly lost on where we are.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah, I know. Lucas says because they all have buffers. I think he's referring to... Yep.
Yeah.
No expense spared on the ornaments on the mantelpiece behind you.
This is Airbnb. This is what they give us.
What's really funny is obviously the Spark is mine, but I love the fact I haven't seen a Sony radio cassette with a cassette deck in it for about 1,000 years. It
says 2-way.
Yeah.
No, it's nice though, isn't it? I mean,
as Airbnbs go, this is great.
Do you know, I stayed in one in London once, which must have been, oh god, it was incredible. It was right by Victoria. It was amazing. Anyway.
Mike Pitney says, stop with Imperial. Switch. Do you guys ever stick to one?
No, we don't actually, because I think James and I are of the age where...
Yeah, I speak both.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we also... I mean, personally, I do weight in stone. Do you still do like body weight in stone?
Yes, I do. Yeah, well, I don't actually know how to translate it to kilograms.
I have to do it on the computer. Should we get some more beers in?
No, I'm fine at the moment.
Are you?
Yeah.
Is there any beers going?
Paul's glass is broken.
Is there one of those Aspals? Come here.
Come to shop.
Come say hello.
Good evening, dear viewer. How are you?
This is Gregoire. He's also known as Paul's body double, but he is also AKA Larry North.
Good evening, everybody. Hope you're well. I'm normally on your side of the screen. I've left the hair slightly longer today so that you'd be able to differentiate between he and I. That's nice. And I thought I was going to fill in for Jack Duxbury, but being quite northern, I'm more Jack Duckworth than Jack Duxbury. But yeah, it's nice to be here. Nice to be part of the Studio Rats family. To wit, I'm going to get drinks and make sure you can carry on talking to your loving public.
Both of them.
Can you grab me? There's one of those Aspal ciders. Are you going to come say hello? This is Charlotte.
Hello. Hi everyone. What are we talking about?
Guitars and stuff.
Talk about guitars.
Oh, I don't know anything about guitars. Sadly, I've forgotten everything James taught me.
It's a short conversation.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Charlotte actually qualifies as the only person I've ever taught to string a guitar, and is the actually
Really?
other than you, who've just done my Strat for me. Charlotte's the only other person who's ever stringed one of my guitars
Strung it.
and did a really good job.
Strung it.
So yes,
I've got to say, look at this. I'm drinking this.
it's actually on
Hold
that
on,
camera,
hold on.
mate.
There we go. Look at that. That's a strong bit. Oh, I'm going to be
6.8. My God, you'll be floored tomorrow.
I think things are not going to go very well later on. Thanks, Charlotte. Thank you.
So
Okay.
Keith Miller says it sounds better from a marketing point of view. I think that's to do. Just concentrate, man. Concentrate. Simon Cook says Yo-Yo pedals get pretty good reviews and are cheap as chips. Pick the mic up.
Without a doubt.
Concentrate.
So without
do
a
not
doubt,
put that near the very expensive stuff.
without a doubt, Yo-Yo pedals are. It's the same sort of thing. I mean, it's the fact that they're manufactured in China and it's a Chinese company. You know, so you know, manufacturing costs are much cheaper and they're fantastic.
Max says Frontline 8X rack mixer, 8 times rack mixer was featured on my guitar rack for decades or more back in the 80s and 90s. The Frontline stuff was great.
Really?
I liked it. Biggs McDaddy,
Biggs
McDad's says, evening, guys.
Evening.
Okay, could be me, but I got a few dropouts in the stream. Yeah, I have to apologize. We are at the mercy of the Airbnb streaming system, and I've done a speed test, and it ain't great. So the fact that we're up and running at all is a minor miracle.
Is it a payment?
It is. It's the next one I'm going to talk about. So stop jumping the gun. I'm apologizing for the terrible streaming quality, but we are doing our best. Not many people would fill a room with this much clobber just to do a live stream.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
At this point, we have to say, Biggs.
Biggs, thank you so much. That's amazing. Thank you.
How did you find us? Because you are a name that I've not seen before. Sorry, never done a super chat. I wanted to pick your brains for a second, lads. Please dive in. We are here.
I tell you what, Biggs. Even if you want to come on, James, you want to post the link?
Yeah, I'll post the link again.
James is going to post the link.
Join us.
I mean, if you can either ask by a message, or you can come on and ask us live.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you've got your camera working and a microphone, it doesn't matter if you're using your phone, whatever.
Max has got a Captor X this week to go with
nice.
Captor 8, sorry, to go with my Captor X. What's the difference between an 8 and an X?
Captor 8? What's that?
I don't know.
Hold on.
Oh,
is there something new?
I don't know.
You keep talking.
I'll do my best. Big says, actually, sorry, not a lie. Get Outdoors New York or NY says, Paul, TY, thank you so much for all the Boss Katana videos.
Oh, anytime, mate. Anytime. Hey, I hear what you're saying. Good choice. Yeah, I mean, really reasonable for what they do.
Halfway through the sentence, you took a drink.
Sorry.
How many have you had?
I don't know what's going on.
Not enough, clearly.
I don't know what's going on.
Big says, regarding the Marshall SV20 versus the responsiveness of the Quad Cortex, you said you noticed the latency.
Yeah.
I'm sure it wasn't much, but what could you say the Boss Katana has a quicker? Could you say the Boss Katana has a quicker response and feel than the Quad Cortex?
Yeah, I can.
I agree. As brilliant as the Quad Cortex is as an all-rounder,
there's something about
they need to sort this out in a firmware update.
Yeah, but let's be.
No, let's not be.
No. It's fine because it's one of those things. It's such a subtle thing. And it's like if
it's a gnat's chuff, but the first time I plugged my Quad Cortex in and plugged some headphones into it, I went, "Oh, have I made a mistake?"
Yeah, you weren't happy, and I remember doing this at NAMM, where we plugged it into NAMM, and I was like, "Hold on a second, this is like NAMM 2 years ago when we went."
Listen to it through speakers, and you go and give it some beans, and you go, "Yes, that's more like it." But with headphones, it is not inspiring.
There's something about. And it's so subtle. The thing is, if you plug into the Quad Cortex and you're playing along, if you plug into a Kemper, it's the same thing. I don't know about the Axe FX because I've never tried one.
We're trying to get one, but they won't let us have one.
So if you plug into those units and you play through it, you're thinking, this is great. This sounds amazing. Everything's good. Everything's good. Then you plug into an amp and you A/B it between the two. There's a noticeable difference. And it's a noticeable difference, but you can see like that, like you plug into an amp, there's this immediate response. People say, well, it all depends on the length of your guitar leads and stuff. It's a different thing. It's still different.
Yes, I agree. There's a weird thing. It is a latency because obviously any level of A to D processing with digital processing going on and D to A, there is a latency, and it's enough for you to go. It's not an audible thing; it's a comfort thing. There's a thing. Whereas you plug into a valve amp, even through some pedals, and you go rah, and it's amazing.
But would I get rid of the Quad Cortex? No,
Never in a million years.
I tell you, and the only processor that doesn't do that is the Boss GT1000. You plug into it, and it's immediate. There's something about it; it's immediate.
Cool. Thanks, Biggs. Hope that helped. Get Outdoors says you've helped me make better sounding music. Help me be a better sounding musician.
Oh, nice one.
We
That's
like that.
Good. Yeah, I like that.
Big says I'm finding the Quad Cortex has more options for me at present, at least. Typically drawn to Marshall amps, so I think I'm going to sell my QC and have a Silver Jubilee on the way. It's a good choice because between us we've got the three, haven't we? We've got the
not yet.
We will have soon. The Vintage, the 800, and the Silver Jubilee.
So James ordered the 800. My two favorite amps were actually my two favorite amps that I've ever bought, that I've ever tried, were the Silver Jubilee and then the Plexi. The JCM 800 came after that.
Mm-hmm.
But even out of, I've had boutique amps and I've got boutique amps. But those Marshalls
my biggest seller's remorse moment was selling my original 1980s JCM 800. I should not have done it. It was the dual channel, and I loved that amp with more passion than is possibly suitable for an amplifier.
Can I say though, I'm just checking time and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay for time. There is a definite difference. Tom, I think Tom's going to come in. Is Tom you going to come and say hello? Come in. Go on. I'll talk about that, and I'll talk about Marshalls afterwards. This is Tom.
This is Tom.
Hello.
He's a bass player.
I am a bass player.
Hold on. We let bass player.
We did.
Yeah, slip through the net, mate.
We used to let Dan do these things, but when we went from being a podcast to being a video cast, we kind of lost bass players.
Well, it's because they're not generally known for their good looks.
Tom, what is your bass of choice and what's your gear of choice?
I've got a Marcus Miller 5-string. It's a Sire bass.
Nice bass.
Really nice. Yeah, I got it because I needed a 5-string. I had a Stingray before that.
Nice.
And but it hasn't got many frets, and it doesn't have. It's only got like 21 frets. The Stingray.
Mate, you're playing bass.
I know.
You don't need to go past the 5th fret. Just stay. Stay in your place.
Sweet spot's up to the 9th fret, actually. I would say. Yeah, I would say.
Maybe.
Okay, so we're playing a Marcus Miller Sire, which we have lots of love for. Actually, I heard they're doing the. Because Marcus Miller is their bass endorsee. Who's their guitar endorsee? It's Larry Colton, isn't it?
Marcus Miller owns the company,
yeah. But Larry Colton is their guitar endorsee. So I'm trying to acquire one of their guitars.
They do some nice ones.
They do, and they're not that expensive either.
Well, no, I can't speak for the guitars, but I can tell you the bass is excellent.
So bass
brilliant.
amplifierage.
I just use a PV amp that I've had since I was about 15. I just always have. I like it. I don't know.
It was so much fun.
The thing about bass though is that bass is generally, unless you've got like a proper vintage amp, it's generally DI'd. So
I always
it's really your monitoring,
that's
isn't
it. My bass amp is always DI'd wherever I go, so it actually really makes no difference what I'm playing through.
So it's your bass is effectively is the sound that you're hearing rather than the sound that everyone else is hearing.
Yeah, and I don't worry so much about that. 'Cause
I'm
all for the people.
Oh, bless you. The last time I recorded bass was at the last time I recorded bass. The last time I recorded someone else playing a bass was actually out in Russia, out in Moscow, and it was kind of amazing. They were amazing quartet: drums, guitar, acoustic guitar, bass, and vocal. And I laughed. I jokingly said, and I was being the. If it was a mix with the masters type scenario, I was the master, jokingly. But I'd been booked to be the guy. Thank you very much. Yes. I'd been booked to be the master. And I said jokingly, oh, bass, we'll DI that as an absolute joke. And of course, we played the track through the first time and I went, do you know what? The bass doesn't sound right. I said, have you got any bass amps lying around? And they said, yes, we've got an Ampeg SVT. I went, yeah.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Fantastic. Plumbed it through that. Stuck a D12, not a D112, but a D12 in the bass cab, pointed it the wrong direction so it wasn't blasting everything. And you know, it was the best bass sound I've ever recorded because it was the right tone for that track. It was it was punchy but woolly. Does that make any kind of sense?
Yeah. I usually DI bass guitar, but only because it's just a lot of the time if I'm just recording a demo or something, it's 10 times easier.
But you know when sometimes you go, it just ain't right.
Yeah.
And I went, I could probably mess around with plugins and all that sort of faff.
Or I could just do it right live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was amazing. And you know, it was one of those, I wanted to buy that amp from them there and then. But of course, it was Russian. Therefore, there was shipping and messy. Yeah. But the amp I use now for recording is the Dark Glass Alpha Omega. And because you can put a little bit of the grit in, you kind of get that Ampeggy kind of warm kind of loveliness from it. And in fact, Paul said that it sounds stonking.
Sorry. Yeah, the Dark Glass stuff is excellent.
And I want that new music, the Only Ball Stingray that's got the Dark Glass. Are you going to talk about? Is that on your list?
No, we did that last week.
Did we? Oh my god, how good does that sound?
Yeah, so good, so good.
Okay.
Well, I'd have got the 5-string Stingray if I could have afforded it. Yeah. But fact of the matter is,
but the Marcus the Sire stuff is so.
I mean, I always
not
think that,
expensive.
No, well, what it loses in build quality for just like the finishing touches, like the on the Music Man, all the knobs and stuff are a nice stainless steel. On the Marcus Miller, they're like plastic, but it makes up for in sound. Yeah,
that's a £12 swap.
I just think I could do away with all that if it sounds nice, and it sounds great. So, I'm happy with it.
I like Tom's hat.
Oh, I like your head. It's very similar to mine, actually.
See, I'm quite concerned.
Mine goes back a bit further.
I'm quite concerned because on the entire tech team, I have the most. I have the.
Yeah, you don't know who's made the mistake in the twilight, do you, of the stage? that's the great thing about it. Say the one with hair.
I am now totally lost where we are in the whole kind of questions thing.
This is what I have to deal with every week. I have to deal with the questions every week. Now it's your turn. I'm just sitting here, just looking pretty.
And pretty you do look.
Thanks, mate.
Are the steaks on yet?
The steaks are not on yet.
Are the chips on yet?
I think the chip's just gone in, but we're heading to the corner shop to get a lighter because there's not a flame in this house except the spark that could lead to a flame.
The spark's there, mate.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I know, but even the hob's electric. I'm like, this is health and safety gone mad. I couldn't start a fire if I wanted to.
How are you going to cook steaks on an electric hob?
We have to warm it up first, wouldn't you?
Oh,
preheat it.
We need Gregoire because he is safety first and indeed safety second.
Yeah, I mean, Greg's all about safety. That's why he's got 2 kids.
Moving swiftly on. Thank you, Tom.
Right, I'll leave you
the
to
mic back before we get in even more trouble.
Well done. I like that. Like that a lot. Okay, so where are we? Don't miss out anyone because
I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. Sean D. Carr says, greetings from Texas. Nice to see you, Sean.
Ah, nice.
Max says, nice drop of cider.
Yeah. Oh, mate, I tell you what, this Aspel stuff is... I'm having a lovely time.
Hang on, I saw one there. Big says, am I mad? Is he mad to sell the Quad Cortex?
Okay, so, yeah, this is where I was going to get to. So, if you're going to buy a Silver Jubilee, even if you buy the 20-watt Silver Jubilee, if you can't run it at a decent volume, you're going to be really disappointed.
Oh,
without a doubt, because you've got to run these valve amps at a decent volume.
Give it some beans.
But yeah, so personally, I think if you're a home player, don't get the Silver Jubilee.
Oh,
Use a Quad Cortex. It sounds fantastic.
and play it through speakers. Play it through
what-
monitors. Plug some monitors and enjoy it.
I tell you what I'll do. Stick with the QC. I'll do a capture of my Silver Jubilee when it turns up, and I'll send it to you.
You heard it here first, boys and girls. Stephen James says, have you heard of any new products coming out of Summer NAMM? Now, I want to pitch an idea to you.
Go on.
So, Summer NAMM is coming very, very soon.
Yep.
But currently happening as we spoke in Fort Wayne, Indiana,
Oh yeah.
is Sweetwater Gear Fest 2021.
Oh, I had an invite.
Did you?
Yes, I didn't. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Not actually from-
I've been asked to go next year. I was asked to go this year, but obviously COVID has kind of knocked that on the head.
Right.
I've been asked to go next year. And I was talking to one of the guys I might soon be working with.
Oh.
And they said, sod flying from New York to Fort Wayne. What you should do is get the decent flight at a cheap price from Heathrow to New York to JFK.
Yeah.
Pick up a car. And it's 10 hours from 10 hours continuous drive from New York to Fort Wayne to the campus, the Sweetwater campus.
Right.
But if you do it in a couple of days, it's quite a nice drive. And and I'm like, hell yeah, I'll do some road trip action.
But is it a nice road trip? Is it a decent road trip, or is it just going through sort of Buttsville?
No, there's some cool places
there?
on route that you can go, okay, I've heard of that place. I've heard of that place. I've heard of that place.
Nice.
And I'm like, that could be good
well
fun.
Up for that. I'm well up for that.
Good. Okay, so
Well
that's
up for
one for next year.
Definitely.
But
love that.
Summer NAMM, do you know what? So far, I've heard absolutely NAMM all.
Well, this is what happens, isn't it? Because people are trying to keep, or the companies are trying to keep things quiet because they do the releases at NAMM. So everything goes quiet for this. When is it? Soon.
August,
let's say.
August or something.
Okay, so everything goes dead a bit now, and then they're building up for that, and then when Summer NAMM, everyone just goes like that, and then all these new great products get released.
Or they don't, because they're all gearing up for Winter NAMM in January, which we will be at.
Well,
we will.
fingers
No, we will.
crossed.
I've already looked at flights, and it's ridiculously cheap already.
Yeah, if we're allowed to go.
We'll be allowed to go. I'm prepared to quarantine
Are you?
when I come home, as long as I can get there without 10 days quarantine before.
Yeah,
I'm happy to
I might
quarantine
be
on the way
up for that.
home.
I might be up for that.
But I think by then the rules will have changed 50 times anyway.
Well, let's see what happens.
Dave Brose says, James, you looked a little stiff. I'm assuming that's in the video.
Well, I am sitting next to him.
Or Neil Peart. I don't think I felt stiff. I think my old room, which is where that video was shot, I've always felt a little bit hemmed in because, quite frankly, that room was 2 meters wide for a drum kit that should have been more like 3 meters wide. I was always a little bit kind of.
Oh, in the initial video.
Yes.
Yeah, without a doubt.
That room was tight for that size of drum kit.
You're not. I don't think you're a stiff drummer.
I don't think I am either.
No, you're not a stiff drummer. No.
But I have always felt a little bit kind of hemmed in. Do you know what? It's funny. There's one drummer, if I watch before I do a gig or if I play something, my attitude to drums changes. Do you know who that is? And of all people, it shouldn't be, but he's got such a beautifully fluid style around a kit. You will never guess in a million years who it is.
Okay. So don't tell me. Is this? Hold on. Don't tell me. Is this a general public?
He's not a drummer's drummer.
He's not a drummer.
The masses would know who this person. Put this. The masses. He is a drummer associated with a very famous band, and only with that band.
Oh. Okay. Fleetwood. Mick Fleetwood.
No. But you are kind of on the right lines of stupidly tall.
Oh God, I don't know. Go on.
If I watch Nico McBrain play, he has got a lovely, beautifully fluid style around toms. If I watch him play and then I play something, it's It's weird. He has a lovely style around drums.
I find that I find that if I watch like or if I watch a guitar player on YouTube before I do a video, I'll find that I might try and emulate that. And if it's someone that I really admire, I might, God, I'm playing better for some reason.
Yeah,
isn't that weird?
It's bizarre.
Yeah, that is weird.
I mean, I can watch, Simon Phillips, Dave Weckl, Mike Portnoy, Vinnie Colaiuta. The list is endless. But there is a thing when I watch Iron Maiden videos and I watch Nico, he does a thing around toms and he makes it look so joyous.
Can I just say though? I mean, when you're watching James play drums on the Studio Rats track, I don't want to big him up because I don't normally big people up, but if you like, I send James a track and then James is drumming along to that track as we speak. James is not involved in the earlier conceptions of that track. I'd send James a track and then James sort of just, he might have listened to it for like 10, 15 minutes before he records it and then records it. So, which is quite impressive.
Are you bigging me up there for a minute?
No, you're a twat. Right, anyway.
Okay, thank you for that. Jeff Roque. R-O-Q? I'm going to go with that.
I like that.
I have a Shaw Ombre. It's great. It's a great brown faced amp with a trem.
Ooh.
But it's really loud at breakup. You'd love it because it's clean on the verge of breakup.
Bring it on.
Hang on.
That sounds
Hang
like...
on. Cheers.
Have a drink. A Shaw? Is it a Shaw, did you say?
Sure.
A Sir.
Sir. Sorry.
Oh.
Sir. Sorry.
Sorry, James is reading. He can't.
Would you advise a good attenuator like an Iron Man 2 or an Origin Effects Revival trem pedal or similar?
I would, if you're going for Sir stuff, I would say go for their own attenuator.
Okay, cool.
Which is called I can't think what it's called, but it's like a little box. It isn't that expensive. Or go for the 2 Notes Captor X.
Yep.
Absolutely brilliant.
Max says the Captor 8 is a Captor without the hardware cab impulse gizmo.
Well, that's the other option. So the Captor 8, as he says, so it hasn't got all of the bells and whistles. It's basically you plug it into your speaker, and it attenuates.
Big says,
no, it doesn't. It takes a signal, and then you can go straight into your computer.
yes, it's one of those.
Yes.
It's not a load
attenuator.
box.
Yeah, it's not. Is it? No, it's a load box. It's not an attenuator.
Right. Big says, cheers for the offer. I'm actually listening with headphones as I've just put my kids to bed. Thanks, though. Not sure I'll be brave enough for the live thing myself.
Oh, mate. Well, it's
the answer to that is 4 pints.
Absolutely.
Charlotte, come back a minute. Charlotte,
Yeah, she said.
we need you a minute.
Why's that? Oh, Charlotte got some fans.
Yes, she has.
Charlotte got a fan.
Michael Michelle says, ooh, I love Charlotte's accent.
Oh, what is it? It's like a mixture of all sorts.
Charlotte's a bit Croydon.
I'm not from Croydon.
It's Croydon meets Leicester, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's Streatham now, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
St. Wreatham.
Yeah.
You moved then?
Yeah, I moved. I used to be in Fulham, though.
Fulham.
Fulham.
Flam, surely.
Fulham with the poshies. But yeah, now I'm South London.
So I love it that James said, and I said, where's Charlotte now? He said, oh, she's sort of Croydon way. And I said, where's Croydon? He said, oh, Surbiton. I said, Surbiton's not Croydon.
No, I've moved a few times since then.
So now you're, where were you? St. Wreatham?
Yeah.
St. Wreatham, okay.
Streatham. It's called Streatham.
Streatham, darlings. I've moved, right?
Yeah, I saw. How is Essex treated you? Is it Essex?
He's great, isn't he? Yes. Actually, it's really rather nice. Essex is very
Oh, are you in Essex?
technically the new house is Essex, but you know what? It's West Essex. It's nearly Hertfordshire, darlings.
Oh,
It's
very
very
posh.
lovely. I'm in the Essex Highlands.
I saw the absolute huge studio you've got.
Oh, that's the temporary studio.
Oh, of course.
The new studio
You
is
built from scratch, surely.
It is, and it is 11 by 5 meters.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, it will have a.
Where's my steak?
Yes, it's quite spectacular, and it will have all this kit in it all the time, which will be quite lovely.
Oh my gosh, no more hunchback.
No. So, for those of you who don't know, Charlotte used to work with me at the studio in Blackheath. I'm saying Blackheath because it was. And quite frankly, there wasn't enough room for the both of us, but we kind of made it work, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
When we had the guys from UA over, there was about 7 of us in a space not really big enough for 2 of us.
It was difficult, but we did make it work. I had
Yeah.
to sit on a drum stool for most of it.
I did offer her a proper chair, but she kind of turned that one down for a drum stool.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
It
And
was.
yet now we're back in Bournemouth doing the Bournemouth crazy
I
thing.
can't believe we're back. Nice to see you guys. Are you just getting drunk on your live stream?
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much making fools of ourselves.
Nothing
Nice.
new there, though, really.
Good stuff.
Right, go on then.
Hang on.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Cook food.
Bye-bye. Where's my steaks?
Big says, love the QC sound wise. Miss my Boss Katana artist feel, hence the purchase of the Silver Jubilee. But I'm thinking of grabbing the Katana head for when I need a different amp or 2 to blend. Not a bad shout.
Yeah, definitely not a bad shout. I think, yeah. Just, I'd like to know what Silver Jubilee.
Who? Easy for you to say.
Yeah, and I'd like to know what Silver Jubilee you're going to go for, because if it's a studio, you can obviously drive that a bit harder.
We're on that one, by the way.
Are we? Which one are we on?
Just
That one there. Okay, there we go. Yeah, but if you've got the 50 or the 100, you're gonna have to drive that hard.
Give it the beans.
Get an attenuator.
Yeah.
Sorted.
A Marshall Power Brake from the 80s.
Hold on. What's that?
No, but I'm adding that.
Are you?
A Marshall Power Brake from the 80s.
Oh, I'm not sure. That's no, definitely not. That's old tech. Old tech. Is that another? Do I see another?
No, you don't.
Okay.
Not as far as I know. It might be down there yet, but I haven't. Oh, yeah, it does. But don't panic.
Okay.
Just stop jumping the gun.
We've got. Thank you. We've got. Thank you.
We have in a minute. Don't worry. We'll get there. Max says. God, I'm lost. Where are we? Max says, "Oh well, Tom. No one's perfect." I think that was a bass player joke. Sorry, Tom. Keith Milner says, "I have a sub 4, and I love it. That's the sub 4 bass. I think that's the
Music Man.
Music Man sub
Yes.
bass. They're great. They're really good basses.
They're excellent.
Yeah. Simon Carter, Simon Carter, do you most dislike about the Katana? I think that should be what do you most like about the Katana? If there was a Mark III, what would you want to see in it? And
Really good question.
what is it perfect? Do you know what? I know instantly what I'm going to say.
We're
The
both
Tuba
gonna say it.
12 would be stereo.
Without a doubt. The Tuba 12 will be stereo.
Yeah, absolutely. Without a shadow of a doubt, that's their biggest failing because it's a dual mono and it should be stereo.
Without a doubt. What would I change? It's a really good amp. For the money, I don't know how they do it.
Well, they build them by the metric shit ton. That is actually an amount.
It's really good. It's really good.
Yeah.
Definitely a stereo.
And it would be stereo outputs. It would be stereo headphone output. It would be stereo line outputs.
Exactly.
It will be stereo. Even the 1x12 would be stereo.
Without doubt.
And
outputs, as in like the outputs of it.
And the Tuba 12 would have separate amps for the speakers. Therefore, it would be like the old Marshall valve state stereo choruses. So that even though the 2 cabinets were like there and the 2 speakers were there and there,
Right.
it would be stereo between the 2. It was
Right.
2 different amps running the 2 speakers, and it ain't. It should be.
Yes.
The only way to get stereo from the Katani at the moment is to run
Katanu.
2 Katanas.
Yes. Yeah. Without doubt.
And that is brilliant, as we proved in our video
Sounds amazing.
a little while ago.
Without doubt. Sounds amazing.
Okay. Michael Michelle, there's the new SSL plugin TalkBack Comp. Do you know if it's compatible with a new SSL controller? It came out today. There is a new SSL mic. The TalkBack compressor is now available as a mic as a plugin from SSL. I don't know if it's yet compatible with the UC1. The UC1 that arrived with me last Tuesday is in the same box it was in last Tuesday.
I've got to be. The thing is, I'm bored to tears with plugins.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just like it's like SSL releasing like so many of these things have already been done.
Yep.
Like a talkback plugin. SSL have already done it, haven't they? They even gave it away for free.
Yeah, but this is the new SSL. This is the new Audiotonics SSL.
What's Audiotonics? What's that?
The company that bought SSL from Peter Gabriel.
Oh, okay. I see.
The one, as in the company that now makes all the SSL stuff that's cheap in China. Oh God, never work for them again.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's.
Micro Michelle, give me a week or two and I'll get my head around it.
By the way, you know that's McKaylee, don't you?
Sorry, is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Sorry,
Yeah.
McKaylee. I'm very sorry.
Okay, so McKaylee, so the reason why James is confused is because I normally do the questions.
Yes, and for technical reasons, the laptop running the questions is on my side because Paul's laptop, even though we haven't got into new gear yet,
We haven't, have we?
is on his side, and because we're running through the 8M 4K clever thing. Yeah. Anyway,
all this.
Sorry. Yes. I'll get on that this week or next week as it will be now, and I'll have a look by the time we next do this live stream.
Yeah.
Back from our own.
Yeah.
I can
smell our dinner.
Okay. Keith Milner says, Spencer, yeah, let's go with that. Max says, run a valve amp through the Capture X. I think that's to do with bringing the level down. I think. I could be wrong.
Yeah, the Capture X, fantastic.
Yeah, Michael Horowitz, great to see you, buddy. Gearfest is a blast. Amazing place to have a fun event. I think
that'd
we do
be
that.
fun. We'd definitely do that. Yeah.
Definitely. I'll blag us some tickets or something.
Let's do it.
Big says, what's a decent volume to run your quad cortex at 100 decibels in my lounge either day? How loud should he run his quad cortex? And quite frankly, loud is neither here nor there. It's feel. How loud should you run at 100 decibels? That's an irrelevant. Sorry, it's an irrelevant question. It's feel. If you're enjoying playing it, that's the right volume. If you're pissing off your neighbours, that's the wrong volume to play it.
Yeah, I think what he means is so James and I both work in studio. So if we're running our quad cortex, it's coming through our monitor speakers. So if we're used to listening to that at a certain volume, that's what we're used to. So,
however, I got some new monitors this week.
Did you?
Yes.
What have you got?
Thanks to my buddy Bruce at ADG, I now have a 2.1 setup of Tannoy ellipses.
I don't know what the ellipses
Basically, the ellipses they're an ellipse shape.
Okay.
It is about 3,000 watts of monitoring.
What?
The sub is 2.4K.
What?
It is kin awesome. Tannoy ellipses, it was a 2.1 system, so there's a 2x12 sub.
Jeez.
And Tannoy, it's actually a three-way, dual concentric and a super tweeter on top. It's an amazing thing.
How much is that? How much is this?
Back in the day, they were a lot of money. I'm borrowing it for a long time.
Oh, okay. So it's not like a new product.
No, it's a very old product.
Oh,
very
right,
old product.
awesome.
They sound amazing. I've always loved Tannoy dual concentrics.
Yeah, me too.
The little golds were amazing.
Yeah.
There was a hi-fi version of the little gold which we had at the first ever studio I worked at in Ipswich. And Bruce said, "I've got these speakers. They sound amazing, but I've got nowhere to put them." And I went,
Jeez.
"I will look after them for you."
Nice one.
And they sound amazing. Processed through the trim or unprocessed, they sound incredible.
Right, hold on a second. Right, let's get through these.
We need to get through these
because it's smelling good now. I don't want it getting burnt.
So Dave Bro says Neil Peart or Keith Moon. Keith Moon every time that man played with absolute passion.
Overplayed, as far as I'm concerned.
Passion and enjoyment. My opinion. Okay, Paul, you were wrong. James can read. Ha! Thank you very much. Max Hodges, I knew you were good to say Nico. Absolutely great. Big says, Paul, I appreciate your offer, but I have the Jubilee on the way. Ordered it today, coming tomorrow. I've never owned a valve amp. I've got a cab. cut the hab the other day. I will, however, AB them. You will have a great time. And
You
by the
will
way,
love it.
if you're getting that Silver Jubilee tomorrow, when the bloody hell did you order it? Because he ordered his months ago.
It took about 4 months for mine. No. I still haven't got it. So 4 or 5 months it's going to take. Absolutely amazing.
Dave Bro says 2 drummers I feel did an amazing thing with Tom's was Ringo and Keith Moon. Absolutely, Ringo is the most underrated yet most overrated drummer on planet Earth.
I completely agree with that.
It's amazing. Dave Bros,
I used to live just down the road from me, actually.
All right, because everyone lives in your village.
Unfortunately, they do. It's like 60s, 70s rock star village place.
I'm overnighting some of my music on cassette, so you'll have something to listen to when you're here.
Nice.
Sounds great.
Overnighting?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Sending to us?
I think so, yes.
I like that.
Who knows? Dave Olson, got some Studio Rats t-shirts.
Oh, nice.
Oh, clean on the verge of breakup, the phrase.
Oh, that's amazing. Right. I'm going to send you one for that. I'm going to do that and send you one. That is brilliant.
Awesome.
That is fantastic. I love that. That's genius.
Max says...
Why don't I think of stuff like that?
I don't know. Max says it does 20 dBs of attenuation as well as a DI. I'm guessing that
cool.
capture
Nice
rating.
one.
Biggie says Biggie says I'd buy one. Dave Milner says I'd buy one of those and a cab sim. Stephen James, Paul Marshall do a 5-watt plexi combo.
Class 5.
Yep. The S. Is that enough for a small gig?
Oh, the thing is, if you want to, if
yes or no,
and if you're running clean, no, definitely
right,
not.
there you go.
Definitely not.
If you've got a PA, then yes.
Well, no. Hold on. No, if you want to run clean, if you want a clean signal coming through a 5-watt amp, live, definitely not.
Okay,
Definitely. Not.
Jeff Roke, thank you very much, sir.
Jeff.
He says, cheers, guys. You'll be able to buy 20 litres of white lightning from the corner shop.
Hold on. No. The thing is, we're only allowed, when you send us like super chat money, we're only allowed to buy, what can I say? The
cocktails.
Cocktail, yeah, effeminate sort of.
Sorry,
drinks.
Charlotte.
Sort of drinks like Baby Sham, that sort of stuff. So you have to.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry. Effeminate cocktails, and I thought you. Big says it's great. It's going to be in the studio, Paul. 5 watts in the studio.
Oh,
perfect.
Oh, hold on. Biggs.
Yes.
Biggs hasn't ordered a 5-watt amp.
No,
Biggs has ordered the.
He's going to be in the studio. That's what he says. 5 watts.
Mate, if you're, what he's ordered the 5-watt for the studio.
I don't know.
No. He's ordered the studio.
Oh,
he's going to be in the studio. Well, if you've got a room, if you've ordered a 50-watt to go in the studio, and you've got a separate room, and you can crank it up, amazing. It will sound absolutely amazing.
Or get a Grossman cabinet.
Yeah, or get a Grossman. And honestly, the Jubilees are one of the best amps I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
Don't bother with buying boutique stuff. It's unbelievable.
You heard it here second.
It's such great sounding amps.
Big says James seems like a Katana idea though. Seems like the Katana idea. I like Katana. It's a great thing. The great thing is it's not valve, therefore it's semi-indestructible and will just do. If it does a great job today, it will do a great job tomorrow. Crank it up a bit more, it will sound the same as if you don't crank it up.
Yeah,
that's the cool thing about Katana. Simon Cook says inbuilt tuner. Yes, that is a good thing.
Brilliant idea.
That's for the Katana Mark 3. Yes.
Brilliant.
Learning guitar fit in my 40s. Loving the 57 gold top. Just thought I'd say hi.
I love that. Do you know what? That's one of the best guitars I've ever bought. It's unbelievable, that thing. Especially so, there's a video coming out tomorrow. Where
how can it be coming out tomorrow? You're here.
Well, because I've already shot it, but it's coming. It's been released tomorrow.
I know.
And it just shows. So the video tomorrow is showing how to run a single channel amp, something like a Plexi, something like that, with a like a Les Paul style guitar. It can be a Les Paul, it can be a PRS, something with two volume controls. And that 57 Les Paul is just.
It is an awesome guitar.
Brilliant.
Devage. I second the 2 notes Captor X. It's great. Get really good guitar recordings using my valve amps. Don't even bother to audition the additional software, as the built-in cab sim is awesome. Doesn't bother with any extra goodies.
Really?
Bruce Brooks says my Johnson, which I still play often, Millennium 150.
we keep laughing about his Johnston, don't we?
Johnson has two 12s in stereo built-in speakers.
Yes.
Yeah, that was an awesome amp, a truly awesome amp.
Yeah.
Someone just hit some more money. Biggs,
What?
Biggs is.
What? Cheers, Big Z.
Thank you, buddy. I am lost. I am so lost. It's already.
Welcome
So
to my
Chris
life.
P says, for home playing, I choose the Yamaha Mark III
Yeah.
THR 30 watt over
Yeah.
the Katana. What's your view on the THR? I've also played the Bosch GT1000 Core through the aux channel and get stereo field effects.
So THR, I've never tried one.
Nor
to be
have I, but I've heard good things.
Really good.
I'm
things,
just
yeah.
really put off by the look of them. They look like a 1930s radio.
It looks, yeah, but that's Yamaha. And I don't think Yamaha design has been good at anything, but
Other than drums and grand pianos.
and motorbikes. But then, you know, looks doesn't matter. I think if
Yes,
it
it
sounds,
does. It does.
Maybe.
It does.
Well, maybe, but I think if it sounds good, fantastic. Yeah, the THRs I've heard really good things about.
Okay. Max again says the original plug-in talkback compressor went obsolete years ago and no longer functioned.
Yeah.
So the new one is a welcome return. I agree, because if it ain't supporting up-to-date operating systems and up-to-date versions of software, it's pointless.
Without a doubt.
It just is.
Without a doubt.
Max also says those Tau ellipses were really quite nice. I agree, because they sound amazing in my new room. They're going to sound even more amazing in my new room.
So are you you're still gonna have your focals and stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Focals, near field,
Jesus.
those are midfield.
Wow. Amazing.
Hi, Paul. You should make a video on how to properly use the pitch shifter in the Katana. Also, a video on how to set the whammy using the expression pedal. Thanks, guys.
I'm sure I've done, but I'm sure
I think
I've
you
done
have as
both
well.
of those.
It's probably there. Keith Miller says, "I have."
But I'll have a look. If I haven't, I will check. I will check. If I haven't, I'll have a look.
Yeah, says I have the THR 10. It's great for simple, low volume stuff.
Yeah.
I have too many practice amps, says Keith Milner. Regarding the decibels comment, it was in reference to how hard I would have to push the Silver Jubilee to get it singing. I measured the sound and I thought was as loud as I would want it to go from 1 meter. It's 1 watt per meter is the generic kind of is the reference how it works out. It's referred to as so many decibels per meter from the source.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was about 100 decibels, he says, and that is, to be honest, 100 dB is bloody loud.
Jeez. Yeah.
That is pretty loud. He also ordered it for Gear for Music. Good luck. Jeff Roke, okay, on the White Lightning with an umbrella in it. Nice.
Amazing.
Chris P. That's to Keith. I'm going to try and rattle through these because, quite frankly, I need. Quite frankly, I need a wee more than life itself. Big says that's to top up so you can have those little cocktail things from the supermarket.
Thanks, mate. It's really kind.
3 for a $5. Go mad. Bruce. David Brose says Katana Mark III should have a new channel. I hate when that happens.
Yes. My life.
Another lead brown channel because it's too fizzy. I agree.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for me, the favorite channel is the clean channel, and you run those pedals into it, and it sounds mint.
Michael says, I see the Tascam Mini Studio still getting a workout. Yes, it is, because quite frankly, this system
Push 2
is brilliant for the camera side of things, but this bit is really good at taking these things into here without an additional mixer. That's our mixer. That's our voiceover system. It's working very well.
Okay.
Keith says, I have a Vox Pathfinder 15R. That's
nice.
good. Nowhere near as loud as AC30, of course. And who wants it as loud as an AC30? AC30 is called a death machine for a reason.
I love AC30s. I love AC15s.
Yeah, I'd love an AC15. I'd love a JC80 as well.
Do you know what? That's the thing about ECC. What are the valves in?
1380. Yeah.
Are they 30? The 30, 83s
yes,
or 30,
whatever
whatever they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of beers, but every time I get That style of amp in the studio, I always blow the valves.
I was on stage with a guy once, and he had an AC-15, and he was doing a screaming solo, and all of a sudden, all we heard was
Yeah, it's a funny
and this
noise.
smoke coming out of his AC-15,
Yeah.
and it was through a PA as well.
I do love an AC-30 though.
Yeah. Oh, Big says the super chat is for cocktails, but also you've been a laugh and a pleasure to watch tonight.
Thanks,
Plus,
mate.
your channel is one of my favorites. Love your playing, your content. You both rock. Oh, he touched me.
Thanks, mate.
Max says with a cherry and an umbrella.
Oh, nice.
You just played an outdoor. So WB says just played an outdoor festival gig in Oklahoma City with a Katana artist, and the
Nice.
thing was absolutely screaming. Any insight into why 100 watts of Katana volume is close to 100 watts tube volume? It shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be at all.
Nothing like 100 watt tube volume should absolutely hurt you from the inside out.
Without a doubt. Yeah, there's no difference. I mean, 100 watt on a Katana, 100 watt is more like, James, if I said 15 watt valve,
Yeah.
it's honestly, it's like that.
I had a JCM 100, JCM 800 at 100, JCM 800, 100 watt, full tilt, stood next to it for a 4x12. And I was going, I can't hear the bloody thing. But of course, the 4x12 Marshall is so focused.
Yeah.
The people in the audience were going, wow, that guitar's quite loud.
Mhm.
But hey, that's one of those things.
Interesting though. I mean, great setup.
Imara says AC10 for the win. I didn't know there was an AC10. I like the idea of that.
Didn't they do like a tweedy looking? Okay, yeah.
Big says, now I'm
Awesome.
worried, James. What's wrong with Gear for Music? Give me the super chat. And yeah, there's nothing wrong with Gear for Music. They are one of the biggest resellers of pro audio and music gear in Europe.
I think it's the fact that they're box shifters, so you're not looked after as much.
No.
As like the order comes in, it goes to the processing department, that goes to the distribution, it gets sent out, as opposed to your local shop.
Yes, it hurts me and I don't like them because I fell out with them a long time ago.
James has fallen out with a few people.
No, not many people.
Oh.
One or two, a handful in the entire pro audio world.
And only 5.
Stop trashing my phone. Katana has a class AB power amp. That's why it is. That could be why it is. Chris P says Vox AC30 has EL84s. Yes,
mate.
mine is now only gigging too loud for studio.
Yeah.
Too loud for home. Keith Bunn says my mate gigs a Marshall JVM 212C. I don't think it's ever going to be about 2 on the master, ever above about 2 on the master.
See, that's the problem, because when you're running it at 2, it's you're not driving the power amp
section.
Yeah, and it's
Good
such a
distortion.
massive difference.
Good distortion comes from the power amp, not the preamp.
It needs to drive at a certain volume because it's such a difference.
The howl and the guts of the sound comes from the power amp, which is why. Referring back to when we had Bruce Davidson, not that Bruce Davidson. Bruce Dickinson, sorry, not Bruce Davidson. That's 2 beers. 2. When we had Bruce Dickinson on, not that Bruce Dickinson, he said about his JCM 100 non-master volume. When you drive the output circuit and the output valves really super hard, you get an amazing tone, which is my Chandler sounds so amazing because you have to drive all 19 watts super hard. It's driving 100 watt non-master volume is just unbearably loud.
It is a massive difference. You just got to, if you ever get the opportunity to take that amp into a room where you can crank it, and even if you shut the door and you mic it up and you hear it, it's a different sound. If you drive it like at 2, or if you drive it at 5 or 8, it's a different sort of sound.
I am going to call it now at this point because
you're hungry and our steaks are ready.
They are. The stakes are high.
Good.
And the chips are done.
Okay. Thanks. So thanks for your questions and your comments.
Yeah. And as always, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a bit of a crazy show tonight. Normal service will resume next week. Who knows what normal is?
Yeah,
These
we
days.
didn't even do like gear of the week. We'll
No,
save
we
that for
didn't.
next week.
We'll save for next week. There's plenty of stuff going on. Hope you've enjoyed tonight. It's been a pleasure, as always, to do this craziness. Even nicer to have me mate in the room. Say something nice. Go on.
Yeah, it was quite nice.
Cheers, everyone out there. Thank you for joining us. Thanks to those who have kindly donated to the Studio Ruts Beer Fund.
Thanks, guys. Really generous of you. Thank you so much.
We will see you next week for more of the same. And good night. Take care. Stay safe and all that sort of stuff. See you very soon.
Thanks,
good night
guys.
From myself and good night from him. Good night.
Good night.